Welcome back. Well, it's Flashback Friday again, and this week we don't have to flash back very far. Here's a look back at our 2014 South Dakota Junior Football Championships with the star player from the winning team.
My name is Tupac Capella, and my favorite athlete is Tupac Capella.
I wonder if he's still his own favorite player. He should be. You could tell just 3 years ago that Tupac Capella was a talented football player at the junior level. Now he's a junior in high school and getting ready to help his team to a third straight championship. Tupac is already the all-time leader in rushing yards at Washington and has 1,351 yards this year while scoring 22 touchdowns in just 8 games. Washington is playing against Sioux Falls O'Gorman right now at Howard Wood Field, and we'll bring you all the highlights tonight on Varsity Sports Live with Tom Neiman and Jason Andera. Here's a look at the games we hope to have for you. Yes, we're aiming for every single semifinal from North Dakota and South Dakota. Can't wait to see who's going to play for a championship. Well, now I'm joined by Jason Andera to talk a little more high school sports. So there's another sport reaching the end of the season, that's high school volleyball. So tell us kind of where we're at with that.
High school volleyball, well, we're in the Sweet 16 stage, which is really exciting. This is a new format for most classes in South Dakota. And with volleyball, it gets really, really fun because there's a one-game format where they have to win one match to enter the state tournament. Let's just take a look at the Class AA bracket to get things started. And as you see, Harrisburg comes in as the #1 seed. They get to play 16 Brookings. So they have to win that game to reach that final 8 at the state tournament coming up just over a week. This all happens November 9th of next week. There's still one game to be played. Huron has to beat Mitchell on Saturday to secure a 7 seed. If they do not win, they get bumped into that 7 seed overall. So Huron and Washington still not sure where they're going to be playing, but the rest of the field is set in AA.
All right, well, very exciting. What about the other classes?
Let's take a look at Class A. This is another fun matchup, and really the reason that they made this Sweet 16 format is because right here, the Class A, there we go, the Class A tournament had so many good teams from the same region that teams like Sioux Falls Christian, Madison, Dakota Valley, they wouldn't all be able to make it into the state tournament at the same time. Well, now because of the seeding system, everybody is seeded, and the top 8 teams truly get to go to the state tournament, and you see it right there. Madison, one of those top 4 teams. Dakota Valley's played well all season. Miller's been up there. Sioux Falls Christian comes in as the #1 seed. And let's take a look at Class B now as well. They're used to the Sweet 16 format. Played it last year. Northwestern comes in as the #1 seed. Chester, Warner. Warner is always in the same district as Northwestern, so they both will potentially advance to the state tournament, which makes things a lot of fun. So we'll have a lot more volleyball coverage coming up. Those games taking place, by the way, on Tuesday of next week, and then we've got Thursday games with AA, so we'll know the entire field for the state tournament in less than a week.
All right, great stuff. Thanks, Jandy. Get back out to your football games.
It's time to go back to football.
We'll see you later. All right, we're going to bring in Jody Norstedt right now to give us a look at what's happening in North Dakota. So, Jody, hello. In North Dakota, the kickoff to the 3A semifinals, less than an hour away. Minot will try to upset 2-time defending state champ Century, while West Fargo is the most dominant team all season. Will try to punch its ticket to the Dakota Bowl against Bismarck. We'll have complete coverage of those 2 games on Varsity Sports Live tonight, but here's Jody Norstedt right here to share some big recruiting news on a player that will be suiting up in the 2A semifinal round. Jody?
Yeah, thanks, Kelly. It's always a treat when we hear of athletes from this region getting a shot to play Division I football, and that is the case for a young man from Watford City. Jaden Ewing, a 6'4", 230-pound senior tight end and defensive end, tells me that he's accepted a scholarship offer to play for NDSU. The twist on this story is that he won't be joining the Bison until 2020. That's because he's taking the next 2 years to go on mission for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. He'll still have 4 years of eligibility when he returns. His size obviously makes him an outstanding prospect, but he's also put up some big-time stats from his defensive end position this season. 50 tackles, 10 sacks, 12 tackles for loss, 2 forced fumbles to go with 19 catches and 2 touchdowns on offense. He plays with emotion too, and here's why.
My heart's in the game ever since day one. I don't know, winning is basically everything to me. especially with how much work I put in.
Well, Jaden Ewing is a football player that not a lot of teams run at him. He'll get a double and a triple team every single time, which means somebody else is going to be left free to make a play. He's got a great motor and a great heart and just a true competitor.
You can see Ewing and his Watford City team in action tomorrow at top seed Shanley in the state semifinals at 1 o'clock. Well, the EDC volleyball tournament begins on Tuesday, and the Davies Eagles will enter as the 3 seed in a competitive field. The Eagles have won 4 of their last 5 matches, and head coach Missy Wilson is excited that her team is peaking at the perfect time. And her 2 captains, Winnie Salikwa and Avery Byer, are leading the way.
I think probably the biggest thing is just getting used to each other on the court, as far as, even in the backcourt, just the kids getting used to who's going to take what ball when it's kind of coming in between them. I think that Avery's done a really good job of kind of stepping up and being a little bit more aggressive in the backcourt, which has allowed the other kids to kind of take a little bit different area. I think that Winnie does a really good job in the front court, just having that positive energy and putting the ball down for us. And I just think that the kids are getting a little bit, like I said, more comfortable and a little bit more confident.
And here's a look at the fields for the conference tournaments. In the EDC, West Fargo is the top seed and will meet the winner of tonight's play-in game between Cheyenne and South. Valley City is the 2 seed. The games begin Tuesday night. The WDA tournament begins Thursday. Jamestown clinched the top seed, while Century, Legacy, and Mandan earn home court advantage in the first round as well. The 3 top teams, in my opinion, as we enter the postseason, look out for West Fargo, Jamestown, and Century. The Packers have only lost 1 match all season. That was back in August. It's possible the West Fargo could sweep the football and volleyball state titles this fall, if you can believe that. Kelly, back to you.
All right, good stuff. Thanks, Jody. We'll see you tonight on Varsity Sports Live. Well, next on the show, previews of 2 big FCS matchups for the weekend, USD at Northern Iowa and UND at Southern Utah. You're watching Midco Sports tonight.